golfers, but he couldn't find any, so he called me. So looking forward to helping out a good cause tomorrow, the Sunset Rotary Golf Tournament at Ocala Golf Club, Muni, for those of you who know it as that. Tomorrow at 11:30, it'll be a good time and good causes. The Boys and Girls Club of Marion County. We just had April Savarese on the show not too long ago last week talking about the Boys and Girls Clubs of Marion County. And, of course, Fessenden Elementary. If you don't know about Fessenden Elementary, shame on you, first off. Fessenden Elementary is one of the oldest structures in Marion County, and it's still being used as an elementary school. But if you go out, it's on the National Historical Registry, I believe. I'd have to check on that. But it's one of the oldest structures in Marion County, completely built from coquino. It's an amazing structure. It's an amazing historical building here in Marion County. Speaking of historical buildings, one took it on the chin this week. Years and years of back and forth between the owner of the property and the historical hops and the Historical Ocala Preservation Society, back and forth. We had some folks on the radio on previous programs I've been on to try to come up with ways to save this house. It's the house at the corner of 5th and 9th in the historic district. Sadly, it was razed this week. I know it is the camp house, but there's other families have lived there, but it was one of the oldest structures in Marion County, and it had sit for the last 8 to 10 years just deteriorating, and the owner wanted way too much money because of what you had to do to restore it, and she didn't want to come off she didn't want to come off her price tag. There was different efforts to try to save this gorgeous house that was built around the turn of the century, the 19th to the 20th century. It was just an amazing structured house, and sadly, they took a backhoe and a bulldozer to it and got rid of it. It's, I cringe anytime history is destroyed. Now, I understand private owner, private property, yours to do it, and she did. She went to the city and to Hops and tried to come up with ways that they could buy the house, but her price was always a little too high. But it took 10 years of wrangling before the ultimate actions were taken. And sadly, the house is no more. Good morning. You're on Ocala Talks.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. A little Black History Month tidbit. Dr. Charles Drew is the person that perfected the art of, or the science of typing and cross-matching blood, which led to the whole blood bank industry. And I believe he was from the state of Georgia, but a pioneer in medical science for sure, and a person that needs to be remembered.
Certainly, and it was from Georgia, and it was a very big deal, the cross-matching of blood, now, because like you said, it led to the ability to then have blood collection, because you could tell what type it was and everything, and then you could give it to the people that needed it without poisoning them. So I think that's a very good call on your part, Jim, to make sure everybody knew his contribution to our general health.
All right, yeah, have a good day.
Thanks so much. We got callers that know things, folks. 622-9622 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the show. It is, Joe took a Black History Black History Month test yesterday. Failed it miserably, by the way. Just so you know, he failed it miserably. But it has nothing to do with it being Black History. He fails almost all of these tests miserably. So he's, what are you going to do? But, yeah, people like W.E.B. Du Bois and George Washington Carver, Booker T. Washington, Frederick Douglass, all these were Harriet Tubman, who there's now a movement to, with the Biden administration, to finally replace Andrew Jackson on the $20 bill with Harriet Tubman, the woman who ran the Underground Railroad, taking slaves from the South to the freedom of Canada using an underground railroad system, which really was just them running through the backwoods and being put up in a lot of Quaker houses and a lot of abolitionist houses along the way through the travel up north into Canada. So lots to be learned during the month of February if you so choose to. But thanks, Jim, for bringing that tidbit up that we need to know about. But back to the house that was destroyed. I understand why it had to happen, and it was old, it was dilapidated, it was falling apart, it was crumbling at its core. I don't think it could have been saved now. 5, 6, 7 years ago, I think there was a very legitimate chance it could have been saved, but they were never able to come to an agreement on how to do it. And so another historic building, one of the oldest buildings in Marion County, not the oldest, but one of the oldest buildings in Marion County. Certainly one of the 3 or 4 oldest buildings in the city of Ocala was torn down recently by the owner. And by the way, the owner that owns the property, that's well within the owner's rights to do so. And the owner tried numerous times to come up with an equitable solution to the situation without tearing the house down. The city actually made a moratorium where for 2 years it couldn't be torn down while people tried to rally the monetary support to save the grand old house. But alas, it was not to be. And it met the fate of the backhoe and the bulldozer earlier this week when my fiance sent me a picture and goes, "Isn't this the house you're in love with?" And I go, "Yes, it most certainly is." It's a sad moment. It just, if you don't know the house, it was at the corner of 5th and 9th, and it had the concrete inlaid wall that went around, knee wall that went around the whole property. It was an amazing, amazing home. And I'm sure in its heyday, with its gas lamps in it and everything, with it lit up, it was beautiful. 622-9622 is the number to call. If you're from Ocala for a long time and you remember that house when people lived in it, give me a call, 622-9622. I'd like to know more of the back history, the backstory of the house that was just torn down that's located at 5th and 9th here in the city of Ocala. It was one of those houses that every week, at least once a week, I hadn't done it this week, but today my travels would take me right by it because every Thursday I have a meeting that I go to, and my travels take me right by it. And every week I stop and I just get out and I just sit there in front of the house and just like to try to envision, what would happen in that house in the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s. Alas, I can't do that anymore because it's gone. We'll be right back after this timeout. You're listening to Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA. The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Adler had a good scene. Adler. She was very. I get emails about when people watch it. Oh, yeah. And I see pictures on the wall.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Buried on page 305 of the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 is a provision that awards federal employees with kids as much as $21,000 for each household to stay home. The Emergency Federal Employees Leave Fund provision includes $570 to sink the ship. Florida Coast Trade and Office USA Radio News.
Stress levels of Americans may be at an all-time high. From education to business to basic needs, the 2020 pandemic-related stress pushing many of us to near breaking point. That's why you should consider the stress and pain-relieving products from sunny-bay.com. There are lavender pads in with premium Washington lavender buds. They relieve tension and the scent of lavender. And star expert Jennifer recommends products from Sunny Bay.
Sunny Bay hands-free wrap should be to unique solution.
Gifts to family and friends that relieve stress and pain. Love and care by giving the best. Neck wraps from sunny-bay.com. Buy a design company. Just click sunny-bay.com. That's Sunny.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene and Debbie thank you for another successful year and to wish you and yours a year ahead full of health, faith, and compassion. In addition to our pasture mowing, we also offer fence line spraying for weed control and rototilling for your winter gardens. We are family owned and operated, licensed and insured, and farm ready. Powell Gene, Gene at yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. 352-629-2440. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
Shamrock Security Systems, 629-3223. Shamrock Security Systems is located here in Ocala, Florida. Shamrock Security Systems is a top-rated alarm company offering 24/7 monitoring, video surveillance, fire and flood protection. You'll sleep a little better once the job is done. Shamrock Security Systems for over 31 years. 629-3223. Get a 100% free quote from Shamrock Security. 629-3223.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to.
Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
Uh-oh.
Is that what I thought it was?
As long as you don't think it was me running over a sprinkler head, then no, it wasn't.
Oh, brother.
Don't worry about it. I'll just add it to the honey-do list.
If you had signed up for Mike Scott Plumbing's irrigation package in the first place, you wouldn't have to do anything.